Well, once again, there's much uproar over some of the accounts on the social media handle X, which has now been suspended or withheld. Now, if you take a look at those handles, they were largely to do with the farmers' protest. Now, the government has always maintained the point that while there's freedom of expression is absolutely allowed, but on social media platforms, a lot of care has to be taken to ensure that none of the posts are provocative or they can stoke communal passions or lead to more law and order situations. As far as the farmers' protests have been concerned, the government, in coordination with the concerned state government, has been working in close tandem and coordination to ensure that there is no rumor mongering, no false information is spread, and no such talk or conversations takes place which may actually stoke passions. That's also one of the main reasons why internet clampdown has taken place in many of the districts of Haryana. But the latest controversy is over the withholding of some of the social media handles on the platform X. And as expected, there has been much outcry and protest, and those whose accounts have been withheld and their supporters and they themselves have been appealing to X, saying that why is it that an account has been withheld when you talk about freedom of expression. And the defense, which of course is coming in from X by way of the sources, is on 2 points. One, that while we believe in the freedom of expression, we think everyone has a right to put forward their point of view on the social media platforms. But at the end of the day, we'll also have to go by whatever orders or demands and requests come in from the government concerned. If you remember, a couple of months back when Elon Musk was confronted abroad with this question, he had responded by saying, I'm in the business of doing business, and therefore I'll have to follow the rules on in which my platform is operating on. This was also in the context of many countries like India, where people were objecting to the fact that if you created these social media platforms because people could have free and fair conversations. At that point of time, Elon Musk said, I do agree with you, but I cannot do much because at the end of the day, it's about me doing a business, and I'll have to follow the rules and regulations of the country in which we and I operate in. Remember, when Elon Musk had taken over X, there was many controversies surrounding Twitter, as it was called then, and there were many accusations that Twitter was being selective as far as the representation or the posts are concerned. The biggest of them, of course, was the presidential elections, Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. And it was at that point of time that Elon Musk had said that there was evidence to prove that how X, or the social media platform Twitter as it was called then, was not actually free and fair. Only a selective amount of people were allowed to present their point of view freely, and that is completely in contradiction of the entire concept of freedom of press. And that is why, and when he wanted to change the entire idea of X to not make it entitled, that everyone should have free access to it, and a blue tick should not become a issue of entitlement. But being a businessman, and because he also wanted to turn the fortunes of X when he took over, he made it very clear that at the end of the day, I'll have to follow the rules of the country in which I operate in. And as expected, there is a substantial amount of outrage now taking place. And this debate on whether the freedom of press also has a kind of a limitation or a Lakshman Rekha, and whether these kind of social media platforms should give its users a complete unchained access. This is a kind of debate which of course will not find any closure. IT Ministry sources, however, point out that we are tweaking the rules and the laws, and there have been representatives of the social media platforms who have approached us in the past, and we continue to meet them. And our only request to them is that we want free access. This is something which is given. We want a large number of people to join these social media platforms, but nothing can be allowed which will actually affect the law and order situation in the country.